If you were born in the wrong country, the Winter Olympics is a game you statistically cannot win. That may sound harsh, but history is ruthless. For over a century, the Winter Olympics has claimed to be the world's most fair competition. Same rules, same tracks, same dream. Yet when you look at the medal table, the story collapses instantly. Nearly all the gold medals belong to a tiny group of nations, mostly clustered in Northern Europe and North America. The rest of the world, they participate. They rarely win. This isn't coincidence. It's design, written by geography, money, and history. Tonight, let's pull back the curtain and ask the uncomfortable question, is the Winter Olympics actually fair at all? Let's set aside the reasons for a moment and look at the simple facts. The medal tables. From the first Winter Games in Chamonix, France, back in 1924, to Beijing, 2022, and now to the Milano Cortina 2026 Games currently underway. In over 100 years, more than 1,000 gold medals have been awarded, but the vast majority of those medals have flowed into the same small cluster of nations. Take a look at the all-time medal table. As of 2022, the pattern remains virtually unchanged. Norway, 405 total medals, 148 of them gold, firmly holding the #1 spot in history. USA, 330 medals, 114 gold. Germany, including East and West Germany, roughly 267 medals. Next in line, Austria, Canada, Sweden, Finland, Switzerland. The top 8 to 10 countries have claimed over 70% of all Winter Olympic medals in history. The top 3 alone account for nearly 40%. What does this mean? Over 90 countries participate in the Winter Olympics. Recent games consistently see 90 to 100 nations sending athletes. But those who actually stand on the podium, it's almost always the same familiar faces. Look at the Milano 2026 Games right now. It's only day 1 and the medal table is already telling a story. Sweden, 1 gold, 1 silver, both in women's cross-country skiing. Switzerland, 1 gold, men's downhill. Italy, the host, 1 silver, 1 bronze, sweeping the podium in men's downhill. Norway, 1 bronze. And the other countries? Most are still at 0. The traditional powerhouses like the US, Canada, and Germany haven't even hit their stride yet. But you can guess who will pull ahead in the coming days. This isn't a one-off fluke. This is the status quo of the last century. Many countries participate, and many compete with all their heart. But the chance to truly win has been highly concentrated in the hands of a few from the very beginning. This medal table isn't the end of the story. It's just the starting point. It's a silent reminder that the Winter Olympics is never an equal race from zero. We often say, hard work can change your fate. But in the Winter Olympics, more often than not, hard work can't even change your starting line. Why? Because geography is destiny. The core elements of winter sports, snow, ice, mountains, aren't things you can simply create through sheer willpower. Look at the map. Norway, Sweden, Finland, Switzerland, Austria, Canada. The countries that consistently dominate the charts all lie within the Golden Snow Belt, between latitudes 45 degrees and 70 degrees north. They have 4 to 8 months of reliable natural snowfall every year, with snow depths easily exceeding a meter. Their terrain is a playground of endless mountain ranges and natural slopes. In these places, children start skiing in their backyards or at local community hills by age 3 or 5. Skiing isn't a training program, it's a way of life. They ski to school, they ski after class, they ski with their families on weekends. This lifelong immersion builds thousands of hours of muscle memory and instinct. They don't just learn to ski, they grow into it. Now compare that to the rest of the world. Take Australia. Most of the continent is desert or tropics. The snow season is a window of just 2 to 3 months tucked away in the southeast highlands. Their athletes often have to fly to Canada or Europe for months at a time just to find enough snow. The start is later, the snow time is shorter, and the cost is astronomical. Look at China, a vast country, but the alpine regions suitable for winter sports are concentrated in the northeast and northwest. Before the Beijing Olympics, the state invested billions in artificial snow and indoor rinks. But this is remedial work. Many Chinese snow athletes didn't step onto real snow until they were adults. Meanwhile, a Norwegian athlete of the same age has already been skiing for over a decade. Just look at the Milano 2026 Games happening right now. In the men's downhill, Swiss skier Franjo van Almen took gold, while Italians Giovanni Franzoni and Dominic Paris took silver and bronze. All three come from the snow villages of the Alps, raised on steep, natural slopes. For athletes from tropical or flatland nations, just breaking into the top 30 is a Herculean feat. You can manufacture snow, and you can build indoor rinks, but you cannot manufacture the geographic gift. Longer seasons equals more training hours. Reliable natural conditions equals lower risk and lower costs. A childhood on snow equals superior balance and instinct. You can be the most hardworking athlete on Earth, flying across the globe to find a mountain, but if you were born where the snow doesn't fall, you are spending your entire adult life trying to catch up to the thousands of hours others got for free as children. Is it unfair? No. It's the law of physics and geography. The Winter Olympic arena isn't a race starting from the same line. It's a race starting from different corners of the map. Geography is a cruel enough barrier, but it's only the beginning. Next comes a hurdle that is more hidden and even harder to clear: money. Winter sports are widely recognized as one of the most expensive types of athletics. Why? Because it's not just athlete plus ball plus field. It's a complex combination of human plus extreme environment, plus high-tech gear, plus constant maintenance. Let's look at the math to see the real gap between a regular athlete and a top-tier team. First, the gear. A pair of top-level alpine skis, including boots and bindings, starts at $5,000 to $8,000. Top athletes go through at least 1 to 2 sets a year because technology iterates so fast. For snowboarding or freestyle, the board, boots, and protective gear can easily hit $10,000. In cross-country skiing, the skis themselves are $300 to $1,000, but the wax and grinding are daily consumables. A single race can burn through hundreds of dollars in wax. Then there's maintenance and tech. The wax truck, a standard for powerhouses like Norway, Germany, and the US. A single mobile lab is worth over $1 million, packed with wind tunnel data, climate-controlled rooms, and precision grinders. Wax formulas. High-end fluorocarbon waxes or new eco-alternatives cost hundreds to thousands of dollars per bottle. Teams test dozens of formulas daily to find the fastest one for that specific hour. Wind tunnel testing. To optimize suits and helmets for aerodynamics, one session can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And that's just the hardware. The software, the year-round training system, is even pricier. Airfare, lodging, and coaching fees to follow the snow between the northern and southern hemispheres. That's easily hundreds of thousands of dollars per season. A dedicated support team, coaches, physiotherapists, biomechanical analysts, equipment engineers. A full team costs millions annually. Compare this to summer sports. A sprinter needs a $200 pair of spikes. Standard tracks exist everywhere. A swimmer needs a pool and a $300 tech suit. The Winter Olympics. If there's no snow, you can't even play. If you don't have the top gear and the right wax, you lose by tenths of a second. And in this world, 0.1 seconds is the canyon between a gold medal and fourth place. Look at Milano 2026 right now. The wax trucks and mobile labs of Norway, Switzerland, and Germany are already stationed in Cortina and Milan. They aren't just competing with bravery. They are competing to see whose system is more mature and whose wallet is deeper. Other nations. Many can't afford a full wax team. Their athletes have to bring their own wax and adjust it on the fly. The result? A snowball effect of advantage. Better wax to faster speeds, to higher rankings, to more sponsorships, to more upgrades. The winner takes all, and it becomes nearly impossible for poorer or smaller nations to break through. You can be the most talented, most driven athlete on Earth, but if you can't afford the ticket to the gear and logistics, your ceiling is locked before you even start. This isn't a conspiracy. It's just the cold, hard rules of money in a world of ice. We've seen the walls built by geography and money, but there is a third wall, one that is hidden deeper and often decides everything at the finish line: technology. At the elite level of the Winter Olympics, the competition isn't just about who is braver or who is stronger. It is a silent technological arms race. Often medals aren't won on the track. They are won in laboratories, wind tunnels, and data rooms long before the race begins. Let's talk about ski wax. This seemingly minor detail is actually the silent killer of speed. Wax isn't just a layer of oil, it's the pinnacle of chemical engineering. Formulas are customized based on the day's temperature, humidity, and snow crystal structure. High-end waxes can reduce friction to the absolute physical limit. A difference of 0.2 seconds is created right there, while powerhouses like Norway and Germany use mobile labs to test hundreds of variations on site. Smaller teams are left to guess based on experience. In a sport like alpine skiing, that 0.2 second gap is the difference between gold and not even making the top 10. Then there's the engineering of the gear. Competition suits aren't just fabric, they are masterpieces of aerodynamics. Athletes undergo wind tunnel testing, standing in 100 km/h gusts, while engineers tweak every seam and texture. Helmets, goggles, and ski base patterns are all optimized using CFD, computational fluid dynamics. Look at the men's downhill at Milano 2026 yesterday. The Swiss gold medalist Franjo von Allmen finished with a time of 1 minute 51.61. He beat the Italian silver medalist by just 0.20 seconds. 0.20 seconds. Behind that tiny gap lies the sum of wax chemistry, base grinding, and the aerodynamic efficiency of the suit. Switzerland has a complete technological supply chain to stack these marginal gains. Finally, there's the data. GPS tracking, biomechanical sensors, real-time heart rate, and electromyography, EMG. Everything is fed into AI models to optimize a racer's line, their turn angle, and their jump timing. The truth of the elite stage is this: technologically advanced teams have already won before they reach the starting gate. They don't just crush you with talent, they crush you with a system. A genius athlete from a small nation lacking a laboratory or a data team is effectively bringing a wooden sword to a gunfight. You can be the most courageous warrior, but in the age of technology beyond the physical track, there is an invisible track, and that track is never level. We've seen the barriers, geography, money, and technology. But why do the same countries clear these hurdles every single time? Because they don't rely on luck or the occasional prodigy. They have built a winner system that operates like clockwork, year after year. Take Norway. This is a nation of only 5.5 million people, yet it sits at the absolute top of the all-time medal table with over 400 medals. How? The answer is hidden in their ecosystem. First, there is the foundation. In Norway, winter sports are a national lifestyle. Over 90% of children under 12 participate in organized sports. There are over 11,000 community sports centers. Almost every neighborhood has a ski slope or a skating rink. Through the national lottery, Norsk Tipping, the government pumps about $400 million annually into sports, but most of that goes to the grassroots. It's not just for the elites, it's to make skiing accessible to everyone. Second, their philosophy is unique. Before age 13, there is no elite competition, no scores are kept, and no rankings are published. The focus is fun first. Children are encouraged to play multiple sports without pressure. The result? A massive talent pool of kids who genuinely love the sport. By the time they reach 13 and the screening begins, the system has a vast sea of athletes to choose from. Then, at the national level, the Olympic Training Center, Olympia Toppen, provides world-class coaching, scientific research, and psychological support. The funding is stable, transparent, and strictly managed. Ski stars are as famous as soccer legends, attracting endless sponsorships and creating a positive feedback loop. Compare this to others. Canada dominates the ice through a similar hockey culture and long-term investment. Germany combines the efficient training systems inherited from the East German era with modern engineering prowess to lead in biathlon and bobsleigh. These countries don't win because they are born better. They win because they built a system generations ago. Stable funding to grassroots popularity, to high participation, to massive talent pool, to elite selection, to tech support, to more medals right arrow, more funding. It is a perfect, self-reinforcing cycle. Look at Milano 2026 right now. 2 days in, Norway has only 1 bronze. Their powerhouse events like cross-country and biathlon are just getting started. But history tells us, once those engines rev up, the Norwegian system will act like a precision machine, harvesting medals in bulk. The truth is cold. Winter Olympic dominance isn't a 4-year burst of energy. It's the result of decades of systemic investment. The winners aren't chosen by fate. They are manufactured in a winner factory. Up until now, it sounds like everything is predetermined. It feels like if you weren't born in the Alps or Scandinavia, you don't stand a chance. But some nations refuse to accept this fate. They don't have the natural geography, and they don't have a century of tradition. Instead, they've chosen the hardest path possible, using extreme investment, clever strategy, and national willpower to force their way into this exclusive club. Take China. Before the 2022 Beijing Games, China had almost no real snow sports tradition, but the nation decided to catch up. They poured tens of billions of dollars into building world-class resorts in Chongli and Zhangjiao, hired the world's top foreign coaches, and built a youth system from scratch. The result? In just a few years, they went from 0 base to 9 gold medals in Beijing, including the crossover miracles of Eileen Gu and Su Yiming. Now at Milano 2026, the Chinese team is a mainstay. They didn't change the rules, they just paid the exorbitant ticket price to break into the game. Then there's Japan. While Japan has mountains, its natural snow season is shorter than Northern Europe's, and resources are finite. Yet, they have become a global powerhouse in figure skating and ski jumping. How? Focus plus long-term commitment. Since the 1980s, Japan has built specialized jumping facilities in a systematic pipeline for skaters. Legends like Yuzuru Hanyu and Mao Asada didn't just fall from the sky, they were polished by a system. Today, Japanese figure skating remains one of the most stable medal producers in the world. They used focus to compensate for what they lacked in geography. And look at Australia, a country where most of the land is sun-baked desert. They have no natural winter to speak of, yet they consistently medal in freestyle skiing and snowboarding. Their strategy is simple: niche dominance. They target high-reward, specialized events. Their athletes train year-round in North America or Europe, and the government invests in overseas bases. Athletes like Scotty James, halfpipe, and Matt Graham, moguls, succeed through leveraged strength, putting all their resources into a few specific points on the map. The stories of these outsiders have one thing in common: they didn't fantasize about changing the Winter Olympic rules. They acknowledged that the barriers are high, the costs are steep, and the systems are strong. And then they chose to go all in. The result isn't always perfect. It's still hard to challenge the total dominance of Norway or Germany. But they prove one thing: when you are willing to pay many times the price of others, when you concentrate your resources to the extreme, you can squeeze onto the podium even if your starting line was on the other side of the world. These aren't fairy tales. They are something more real and more inspiring. They tell us that while inequality is the reality, effort is never a zero-sum game. We've journeyed through the barriers, the iron law of geography, the paywall of wealth, the technological arms race, and the momentum of systems. The unfairness of the Winter Olympics is no longer a secret. It's a blatant structural reality. But now, the real question arises: is this actually a problem, or is it simply reality? The Olympic spirit tells us that sports should transcend borders, birthright, and all human-made obstacles. It promises that every athlete, when they stand at the starting line, should have an equal chance to chase their dream. This is the promise written in the Olympic Charter, the fairy tale we all believed as children. But reality tells a different story. The Winter Olympic stage is not a vacuum of fair play. It is deeply embedded in physics, latitude, economic power, and historical paths. You cannot work harder to give a tropical nation the snow season of the Alps. You cannot ask a developing nation to instantly replicate a century of Norwegian grassroots infrastructure. So, we face a dilemma. If we obsess over absolute equality, the Winter Olympics might forever remain a private party for Northern Europe, North America, and the Alps. And eventually, fewer and fewer nations will want to play. But if we accept that this inequality is the very nature of winter sports, how much of the Olympics' universality and global appeal is actually left? Perhaps the Winter Olympics was never meant to be a everyone has a chance event for the masses. It's more like high-altitude mountaineering. Only a few have the mountains, the gear, the guides, and the generations of ancestral knowledge. The others who come are mostly there to witness, to participate, or to simply say, "I was there." But that doesn't mean it lacks value. On the contrary, this cruel beauty is what makes the Winter Games so unique. It showcases the absolute limits of human capability in extreme conditions. It allows the excellence of a few to become the wonder of the world. And occasionally, it allows the breakthrough of an outsider to become the most dazzling, inspirational story of our time. So, how should we view it? Is it a tragedy that the Winter Olympics is an elite, niche event? Or should we keep pushing for change, expanding participation, lowering costs, and promoting artificial snow? Or should we simply accept it as a gift of geography and history, rather than a game that must be perfectly equal? I don't have a standard answer for you, but I believe you already have yours.